Hello and welcome to Go Southern Alberta. My name is Leanne Evans. Today we're at Delta Potteries and I'll be joined by Tracy and Rachel. We're going to be talking all about the 100 Women Who Care charity initiative. We have that and lots more coming up on Go Southern Alberta.
Literally, we can do anything we want to do. We just have to make adaptations sometimes to do it, and they don't always have to be big adaptations. It can even just be a question of changing accessibility of a small part of a building.
Well, welcome back to the show. As I mentioned earlier, we're down at Delta Potteries and I am joined here with Tracy. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now we're talking all about the 100 Women Who Care initiative. It's a charity initiative. So tell me a little bit about what this is.
Well, it's a group of 100 women who get together 4 times a year for 1 hour. Each woman brings $100 and we vote on giving back to a charitable organization in our community.
So it's pretty easy. You bring $100 and you raise so much money for one charity.
Yes, that's right. We have the potential to raise $10,000 and more, and we just vote. Women bring this initiative to the meetings, and we all vote on which charity is most deserving and write your checks that night, and we facilitate the transaction of the check to the charity, and it's really simple.
Now explain how each charity, the people can vote on the charity, but it's not always going to go to that same charity every single time.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, we want it to go to one local charity, and that charity has an opportunity once a year. So it won't be the same charity every time. It has to be federally recognized to issue income tax receipts. And the caveat is it's local. The members have to pitch the charity, so we don't have charity representatives there. And it's just really a simple process. They get 5 minutes to present their charity, and we write our checks, and that's it.
Now, it's such a simple thing. Explain how it's, you wanted this simplicity. Explain how that.
Well, I think it really works for today's woman, being that we're so pressed for time, and we just, we can't give enough. We want to give, but we just can't sometimes. So we're really only asking for 4 hours of people's lives. And I think that's the biggest complaint that everybody runs around saying, I have no time for anything. So, 1 hour of your life quarterly, it's simple.
Yeah, you can really just spare 1 hour 4 times a year to get together, with a bunch of women and spend some time together and raise the money for that local charity. Now, why do you think it's so important to do this?
Well, I think it's important because I think Hatters are inherently giving people. So I think this just really appeals to people who want to do something, who have no time. And I think because it's such a significant amount of money, it's making a big impact in our community. And that's really ultimately what we want at the end of the day, is to make a big impact on Medicine Hat.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, well, we'll be back later on in the show to find out more information about 100 Women Who Care and where the idea came from. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up on Go Southern Alberta.
We'll present an opportunity for them to kind of find themselves in it and maybe improve their attitude towards our staff in Medicine Hat.
Well, welcome back to Go Southern Alberta. As I mentioned earlier, we're talking all about the 100 Women Who Care. I am now joined by Rachel. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, tell me where the idea all started from.
The idea started in Jackson, Michigan by a woman who felt like, again, she's pressed for time and she wanted to make a difference. They wanted to buy cribs for newborn babies. And so she just started the group as a way of facilitating a large amount of money in a short amount of time. So now they boast over 300 members and they raise $30,000 4 times a year for local charities.
It's quite impressive to hear that you can raise that much money in such a short amount of time, right?
Oh, exactly, and that's why we feel like the concept is going to be so successful here. As Tracy mentioned before, every woman is very pressed for time, and here's a way that she can have local impact with the minimum amount of commitment.
Now, this is also going around in a couple of other cities in Alberta.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Edmonton, Calgary, Red Deer, and Red Deer actually just had their first meeting last week, and they had over 200 women, and they raised $21,500.
Wow. Now, why do you want to be involved with this?
I want to be involved because I want to make a difference in my local community. Tracy used a really good analogy the other day where if you just have a brick of Lego, it doesn't make a big difference if you want to build a house. If every woman comes and brings a brick, then we have something successful and that we can actually see a visible difference made in our community.
That's a great analogy. I like that. Now, do you think that this might spark an interest for maybe men to get involved as well?
We absolutely hope so. We hope that Calgary has a group called 100 Men Who Give a Damn, and they have their own meetings and their own things that are happening, and they make a difference in their own way with charities that matter to them. So we hope that hopefully that will reflect in Medicine Hat here as well.
All right, so I'm a woman and I care. How can I find out more information?
For sure, we're on Facebook, so you can find us there. We're also on Twitter. You can email us at wwc.medicinehat@yahoo.ca for membership forms. And other than that, if you see us around, just always don't be afraid to say hi and come up and introduce yourself because we're happy to meet anybody who's interested.
All right, so there will be more information coming out along the way, and June will be the first meeting?
Yeah, the first meeting will be in June. We're having an intro information night in May. Members who are already signed up will get an email invitation. Anyone else who is on the Facebook page or Twitter can follow and see when the dates are. You don't have to register before the meetings. You can just show up. There'll be registration forms there, and we'll take care of you.
All right, well, I'm really excited to see how this all will turn out.
Thank you, me too.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, well, we have so much more coming up on Go Southern Alberta, so stay tuned right here on Shaw TV. Well, that wraps up our show for today. Thanks to Tracy and Rachel for telling us all about the 100 Women Who Care charity initiative. Now, the charity that receives the money will be updating the group about how they spent the money at the following meeting. Now, if you missed anything that we have been covering, we are on Facebook at Shaw TV Medicine Hat, also on Twitter at Shaw TV The Hat. Now, you stay classy, Medicine Hat. We'll see you next time. Women Who Care Medicine Hat charity initiative. I say that one day. At Shaw TV The Hat, that's all we have for the show today. Charity initiative. I can, talk. Oh, charity initiative. Now, the meeting that